this is this presentation is something what we are sort of a culmination of what we are talking about all this time. That is the safety, energy conservation, care, and how it affects everybody, how it works. What's it next? Okay. So there are duties of the organization. So what are the duties? There are duties which are towards the internal people who are within the organization and those who are outside. What is care? What is care? Care is safety plus satisfaction. Like, for example, you give all the safety apparatus to somebody. Builder is there, you give goggles. Guy who is working at height, you give him something, safety harnesses, but he is not satisfied. That is not good enough. That's not care, because he is likely to fail in his duties, and all kinds of safety apparels are not going to save him. Like if you have seen the Marathi Kaun Banega Karorpati yesterday, the police officer was telling. Have you seen anybody seen? Kedekars? No. So he was saying that during the epidemic, the department was taking utmost care. They were giving all the proper uniforms were there. But as soon as he used to come home, he used to remove this uniform and change it because his wife was pregnant. And then ultimately she got the COVID also. So he was working with safety apparel, but the satisfaction was fully not there. So care means safety plus satisfaction. Again, there is one more point, energy conservation. That so much has been talked about, I don't have to tell you separately. And what are the beneficial outcomes? Sustainability. Business sustainability, profit to the organization. That is towards organization. And for the customers, there are lots of benefits. Depending upon what business you are in, the benefits will differ. And then benefits to the stakeholders. Stakeholders is a very wide term. There are many stakeholders. Outside, inside, say those people who lend your money, those people who are representing you in legal litigations, lawyers, then those who are the equipment suppliers, the spare part suppliers. Then there are so many. So there are so many stakeholders that many of them may be invisible to you people who are working in the field, but they are there. And the planet, saving to the planet. Everything ultimately comes to saving to the planet. This is not one-time job. It's an iterative path. You can't say I have done this. If my work is over, let this go on for 10 years, 15 years. It's not like that. Every day, every single incident, like we were told at Nagpur, they are having a near-miss recording. So, near Nagpur, who said in the morning? The near-miss accidents also are reported, and these are taken care. So, because the corrective action is taken. So, same way, anything that is near-miss or anything which is not right, anything which needs correction has to be corrected. Suppose you are having a app which is giving certain results, but there are some wrong things coming in, that some certain trains are not possible, that the trains were misleading and accident took place. So iterative path ought to be there, so everything has to be corrected all the time. This is the next one? Second one?
Yes.
Okay. So the questions to be asked by the management and fulfillment to be sought in the iterative manner. Is sufficient safety provided to the employees? So this is for correction. Is sufficient safety provided to the customers? Is sufficient safety provided to the stakeholders and general public? Like there is a metro. Suppose the metro suddenly comes out of the rail and falls down. A guy just passing by, he gets hurt. He is neither the metro nor he is the customer, but he is a third party. So, like this is a very, very vague and general example of third party. For setting up a factory, you cut all the trees around there. So the birds cannot nest over there. So they are also part of the planet. So you are causing harm to somebody. So that is the persons or the parties that are not really connected. Then is sufficient safety provided to the stakeholder general public? Then physical safety and emotional safety. Safety is two kinds. Physical safety and emotional safety. You cannot have one without another. And you cannot have one and forget about the other, because one lapse in one will lead to another and will be a total problem. A problem of totality. And financial safety. Financial safety to your stakeholders, to your banks who are lending you money. Because if you are running an organization, some bankers are lending you money, that your crisis rating, your credit rating will depend upon that. So this is a care umbrella. Care umbrella, physical safety, emotional safety, internal, external. And you see that there are overlaps. There are overlaps because there are common areas where the safety is to be provided. So internal is all employees, visitors, external, customers, service providers, all stakeholders, financiers, all those who are not directly concerned with the business. This is the entire safety care. You are doing it?
Yes.
Okay. And this together is the planet. Planet is not your earth. Nobody is bothered. The earth. Bhagavan is not bothered what happens to the earth. He has provided for you to live. And it is for us to take care. Now before the industrial revolution, there was not much problem about causing harm to the earth. There is Bhagirath brought Ganga from the Himalayas. Okay, that is the only big engineering feat. But it was for the benefit of the people. But when the industries came, industries 1, 2, 3, 4, all kinds of problems have started. People started talking about the pollutions, harm, the thermal temperatures going up, global warming, things like that. In the corner you can see the solar system, the sun, the inner planets, then the gas giants, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So many things have been provided by God to you for the life to thrive over there. As I said in the morning, the inclination of 23 degrees also is such that you get the 4 seasons. The other planets are not so fortunate. They wobble. For example, Uranus is rotating at 90 degrees, practically, like this. Then the gas giants, they have got the Titan, which is the satellite of Saturn. It has got methane and ethane lakes. Will anybody survive there? Voyager 1, which is gone beyond solar system, it is recorded such a cosmic rays over there that nobody can survive. Suppose we go to even another planet, where suppose we go to Mars, there may be some bacteria which can kill you. So we have to stay on the Earth. Thing is that the dreams of going on other planets are very, very remote. We have to stay on Earth. They have to stay in a supplementary manner with ecosystem, and that's why we have to take care of the planet, we have to take care of the environment and everything together. Otherwise, the industry doesn't survive. Now, internal safety to employees is all trapped. You know it, but we have to go through it. So, physical safety, that is, how do you do it? Installing safe and sound machinery in the plant. Like, you know, there used to be occurrences in the past. ऐसा शर्ट अटक गया मशीन में, आदमी ऐसा गया, हाथ अंदर गया, हाथ टूट गया. These used to happen. Nowadays it doesn't happen because your machinery is safe. There are guards. Then again in Tata Power, underwork shop, people used to go for operations. They used to do some wrong operations. Flashover used to occur. Even at Borivali or Ambernath, flashover had occurred on the Woodwood ASIA switchgears. So these days, I am very happy to read in one of the papers that audio system is provided for the interlocking failure. That the आवाज आती है, it gives you a caution. अरे wrong operation कर रहा है. That's something great. That person is cautioned. The occurrences, because what happens, the maintenance engineer is woken up at night that so and so big consumer has got a shutdown. He goes there, he has to make the ring operative. So he removes one breaker, he puts another breaker. In that he can do a mistake. I know one occurrence at, I shouldn't really quote it, but at there was a switchgear, and one maintenance engineer had taken a switchgear, those switchgear, 440 volt switchgear in the plant, and he took a bus section breaker outage. And during that time he wanted to ground it. Now, grounding the bus section is impossible because both the buses are live. But his mind was somewhere else. So, like that, fortunately, he was prevented by the inherent safeties provided on the switchgear. So, like that, the machinery has to be totally safe, providing adequate and appropriate safety apparel to the employees, providing safe tools to the employees, creating safe working environment for the employees, specifying and implementing safety rules, SOPs for all routine operations at the time of extraordinary events and disasters. Many times clear SOPs are not there. Like I remember sometime long time back, Parel Receiving Station of Tata Power, the one feeder tipped out. There is a big fault and two feeders tipped out. The person in charge opened up all the lines there. But that was the wrong thing, because if you open all the lines, you can't put them in service immediately. So because the SOPs were not in place, he didn't know what to do. In a hurry, he just opened up. So you have to consider each and every situation and provide SOPs. I remember I had gone to Brown Bori that time at ABV. Mr. Palki was there. So he was a secretary representative at India for protection also. So he showed me big thick books that he said that we have the operating conditions for anywhere or anything, and we can go to any of the plants and can operate. So that was for the manufacturing plant. Same way it should be for each and every plant, that SOPs ought to be there. Suppose a person is transferred from one place to another, he should have the clear-cut operating conditions, how to operate, how to go by. And then we are talking about emotional safety to the employees. What's that? Providing jobs as per skill sets. Arey kya hai re, jao karo, that is not the thing. Does he know how to do it? Then only he will do it. Providing opportunities for enhancement of skill sets. Providing physical safety. Ensuring fair remuneration. Ensuring fair play in performance appraisals and due encouragement to innovations. Ensuring healthy competitive environment. Competitive, yes, in the morning somebody talked about that two departments are competing with each other, and there is a healthy environment. Setting examples of and encouraging walk the talk principle in operations of the business. Now, we are seeing the physical safety of employees, conditions, emotional safety of the employees. Do you agree with them that all of these will enhance the quality of your production? What? Is the second one? Next one? Okay, so if you don't do it, what will happen? Equipment related. Functioning of power equipment will be below their rating, thereby underperformance in service. Many of the NTPC plants, not NTPC, sorry, I am very sorry, not NTPC. Not of many MSPGC plants, 500 megawatt unit at so and so place is operating at 400 megawatt. Why? Because the steam pressure and temperature is not coming. The superheater sprays are leaking. So superheater spray valves are leaking, the steam temperature pressure is not coming. Who's done it? Valve is responsible, not valve. The maintenance man is responsible. He is not maintained properly. The installing person is not done properly. So that's why the equipment is performing below the rating. At many places, the manufacturing plants, They are not operating properly because the bearings are getting hot, they are not getting loaded. So things like that, not maintained properly. Frequent failures and accelerated aging of the equipment. Many times when we used to put design conditions, that time we used to say MTBF should be high. Nowadays nobody mentions MTBF nowadays. There is mean time between failures. So from TC, when I was in TC, MTBF should be high, and then we used to question, what is your MTBF? So that was one of the criteria, but it goes without saying that the mean time between failure, that is the failure should be small, working period should be high. That will not happen. Overloading of the limited equipment and carriers remaining in service. Certain things are failed, like the power system is a very, very normal thing. One line, N+1 criteria, whether it is there or not. It's not there. Nobody goes for N+1. So suppose the lines which are in service, 2 lines are there, 50% loaded, 60, 70, one fails, other gets overloaded. The transformer in service gets overloaded. So that will happen. Employee related large scale disengagement resulting in lackadaisical approach to duties, errors in billing, bill collection, deficient maintenance causing frequent failures, extended periods of supply chain failure and non-availability of product. In the electrical power, it is power not available. For other things also, see, suppose there is an Indian yeast company in Navasha or something that side. Suppose the yeast is not manufactured, then the bread manufacturing doesn't take place in Mumbai. So that is the one company not working, the supply chain fails. So things like that, which are things of importance. And financial and commercial, perennial cash crunch, deficit in working capital due to deficient arrear correction, delays in making payments for goods and services, then cost of blue erection per unit of production higher than industry standard due to various problems, losing competitiveness. Now, these are financial and commercial things are also very important because here the stakeholders are involved, the vendors are involved. Now, suppose you don't take care of your duties towards your customers. You don't do your duties towards the lenders. What happens? I'll give you one example and just see how this affects. So, the distribution arm of MSED, that is MSEDCL, it is got very high losses. It is in the red because the bill collection is not proper. Because its bill collection is not proper, it is not able to pay MSPGCL, that is the generating arm, the bills. MSPGCL has to pay to the Coal India because it buys coal from there. So it has to have money. So what it does, MSPGCL goes to bank and borrows money for the working capital. It wants working capital. But the bank says, your credit rating is not good, you will have to pay extra interest. This extra interest is paid on the borrowing from the bank, and being the money required for fuel purchase, it goes is a pass-through as a fuel adjustment charge. MSPGCL passes on the fuel adjustment charge to MSEDCL. MSEDCL passes on to the paying customers. So the people who are not paying, because of that, MSEDCL is in the red. It goes in a cycle, it doesn't pay, doesn't pay, then it comes back as the FAC, fuel adjustment charge, and it is billed to the paying customers. So, not taking care of the stakeholders, one way or the other, matters a lot. In the private sector, it will matter a hell of a lot. In public sector, it doesn't matter because nobody is accountable. And that's how these things go on. But you being all from the responsible companies, you have to remember that stakeholders are also very important and you have to care for them. Now, the generation side people, they say, who is the customer? We don't even see the customer because they don't see. They are not frontliners. But most of the people in the industry, like you people who are coming from cable maintenance, they see the customers. They see the employees, they see the customers, they see the stakeholders, and they have to take care. That is the message that is coming from here. Cost of new erection per unit, that is the, anywhere in the power system it is rupees crores per megawatt. So as I said in the morning, MSPG's cost is so and so. The Reliance cost was much lower that time. Tata power cost is low, and in China, if you go by what he has said, it must be much lower also. Okay. Now, emotional safety of stakeholders is indicated by the credit rating, crisis rating of the organization, and the trust built up in the minds of suppliers, financiers, which should be evident to the ease with which transactions with these parties are carried out. No, you must pay. ऐसा कोई बोलने लगा, means you know that your credit rating is not good. And this is ensured by sustained supply of product of requisite quality at fair price, ensuring transparency of price structure of product at competitive equality, ensuring punctuality in payments, ensuring partnership attitude with vendors and contractors at appropriate level. This is very important that, in fact, this word partnership with vendors and contractors is objected quite often because people see some sinister view in that. Apart from that some wrong things can be done, still the contractors, for example, people are working in your plant on outages or overalls. They are as good as your own employees. So you have to care for them. Because he is a contractor's man doesn't mean that he doesn't require safety harnesses. He does require. So this attitude, so that will make the people come to you. The good contractors will come provided you treat them well. Physical safety of customers. This is important in electrical as well as everywhere else. The power that you give, like MCCB, instead of SFUs you put MCCB. Yes, it's a good step. The meter, so this is one first step that you have done. See, that's what I said, that management is given a goal. Take care of your employees, of customers, and you have converted into task. Okay, I'll do this, I'll put MCCB instead of SFU. That is one task you have done. There are several tasks you have to do. You can't just stop at one task like that. So the product, here the electricity, suppose you are oil, manufacturing oil, and you give oil in the bottles which are defective, they are leaking. That's the wrong thing. It will mess up everything. So you have to see that your product is properly packaged as it goes, providing safety in transport and handling of raw material. Coal that is coming to Bombay, coal that is now Singrauli gets trucks and trucks of coal. Because there is some law, there is some rule that coal cannot come by rail. So there is a huge line of trucks. The safety, so there is always fights are there, the coal gets spilled out over there. So these things are not right. But in that sector, the public sector, there is hardly anybody who can tell anything. NTPC person, you have been to Singrauli?
I was in
Oh, okay. Sorry, not you. Ensuring safety of handling the product by the dealers, intermediaries and retailers. Ensuring safety in disposal of scrap, effluents and gases. I need not tell anything about this because everybody knows the importance of ecological balance, ecological purity. Ensuring safety to the general public, not connected directly with the product or the business. Like, this is the simplest example that I can give you to electrical people is about the touch potential and the step potential. I remember one electrical inspector was there, he was so particular about earthing that he says that because he had experience, step potential, how it can be detrimental, how a person can die. So that's why sometimes suppose the transmission line is going through some open area. Many times you find that the earthing conductor, which is grounded from time to time, from tower, not every tower, but maybe some alternate tower, that conductor is cut. So that is detrimental. So because suppose a live wire falls down, then you'll get a live earth. So safety to public, which is because there are instances of cattle dying or the people in the open fields dying because of live earth. Next one. Next one, right?
Yes.
The emotional, now customers and stakeholders, you're creating the trust built up. This I think we have gone over. Then ensuring sustained supply of product. Okay, how you measure? Measure is by the proportion of the market share. Then credit worthiness shown by credit rating and the lending conditions put up by lenders. Customer loyalty to the product or migration to the competitors. Like I go from Tata to Adani to Tata, Tata to Adani because I have got some benefits. So this is happening in the electricity sector. I go for open access. Why? Because open access power is cheaper than the local power. Number of litigation proceedings and proportion of favorable decisions there too is very important. That suppose there is a supplier against whom there are so many complaints and the complaints are resolved in favor of the other party, then that's not good. Why I can't do it? No. What's happened? Both of us have done it at the same time.
Pressing a wrong button.
Now we come to energy conservation. An industrial establishment needs to conserve energy while manufacturing and producing its product. There is no doubt about that. In your factory, in your works, you must have energy conservation in place. That is, lighting is there, it has to be proper, then your machines have to be energy efficient, etc. While transmitting its product. For electricity, it is the transmission loss. For any other industry, the supply chain has to be efficient. That when the product goes to the ultimate user, it has the loss should be minimal. Additionally, you need to coordinate with the end user and educate them regarding ways and methods of using the product. For electricity, it is the demand side management. Now, the record of the utilities in Maharashtra is very poor in this respect. They consider DSM as losing the sales and moreover, they require to put in money to educate the customer. The rural side DSM is the poorest because the method of urban DSM and rural DSM is entirely different. And nobody goes to the farmers how to use it efficiently. Where you find the pumps are always on. There is a load shedding for say 10-12 hours. When the power comes, pump starts. So that kind of thing doesn't work. You have to do DSM because the energy saving is not in the power plant or not in the industry from the meter room onwards. It is on both sides. Moreover, the user is not as educated as you are about the product. So you have to educate the user, you have to educate your own people to educate the user. Harm to the planet. What causes harm to the planet? Any minor deviation in the given range of physical and chemical properties of the atmosphere. Reduction in the required proportion of the life-sustaining gases. Increase in harmful gases, pollutants. The banyan tree and people tree, Vada Chizhad and Pipla Chizhad, they are the maximum generators of oxygen. If you cut them, that's bad. So that not many people are aware of it. The random cutting of the banyan tree and people tree takes place and you put gulmohar tree. But that doesn't generate that much of oxygen. So this is not one-to-one we have to do. Then change in surface temperature of oceans and other water reservoirs. As I said, albedo of ice caps is different, albedo of oceans is different. Now ocean is a great storer of energy. The solar energy comes, 80% oceans are there. oceans absorb the energy. There are storms. Storms are how the ocean releases the energy. So release the energy, absorb the energy is continuous process in the ocean. So that affects the terrestrial area sometimes. Then the ocean, the absorption is very high, reflection is 10%. But the jungle area, it is different. There may be 15%. In the ice caps, 80% may be reflected. So the average is out to 33%, which is good for us. Any change in the solar caps, I mean the polar caps, will change, or any change in the jungle area, it could change the total average albedo of the earth. Warming will take place, or cooling will take place. And we are not, while human beings, the life on earth is not really used to take variations in maybe 5 degrees here, there also. Large scale extinction of the species can take place, which is not very healthy thing. So melting of polar caps, thereby causing changes in albedo of earth. Extinction of species important for ecological balance in nature and constructive activities such as pollination of plants or facilitation of nitrogen cycle of the earth. That can take place. Whatever. So the safety of the planet needs to be made effective by ensuring harmful products of combustion such as sulfur, SPM, etc. are treated and disposed of and not let out freely in the atmosphere. Industrial waste and biological waste are appropriately disposed and not let out in oceans. Conservation of nature, which is tree, plants, insects. So that's it, my friends. Earn profit, gain sustainability through taking care of employees, customers, stakeholders, all life on the plant. Because if they are there, industry is there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Would you like to ask any question to Mr. Karkhanis?
He's not technical.
Okay, fine.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
I have a question. This is something interesting. You know, I have been to Gangotri, Jamunotri and all that. And I have met one Sadhu Baba. He is a very scholarly Sadhu Baba. And he had told me, he had asked me a question. He said that you have seen the icebergs and you have seen what are the 500 years old ice which is there. What is that called?
Glacier.
Glaciers.
Glaciers, yeah.
So the glaciers. So he says that Earth is round. And say for metal extractions, we are taking iron ore, we are taking coal, we are taking everything. So there are voids which are created on the earth. There are voids which are created on the earth. So if that void is there, then the earth will lose its stability. And earth's, the dimensions, the earth, that North Pole, South Pole dimensions also can change. And if that kind of change is there, then those, earth will have a differential behavior, and that can melt those glaciers. So my point is this. Now you said that planet. You said that we have to live on that planet, and the industries has to live on the planet. But we industrialists, we have taken so much of iron ore, coal, and everything is out. We are making the Earth planet as a hollow, and that hollow is going to imbalance the Earth. So yeah.
So this,
Yes, sir.
this fear is there, but this fear is not well founded, because how much deep we can go? Hardly anything. They are saying what is the earth made of? There is a crust. Then there is after that the crust is miles and miles deep. When we do open cast mining, or even the we dig inside, hardly anything. Maybe 2-3 kilometers, there is nothing. In 1,000 kilometers and below, then there is a magma, then there is a solid iron. So this just taking some little bit of earth here and there is not going to matter. What for? Because as you see, how deep is the Pacific Ocean? More than 6,000 feet, more than 6 miles, more than 6 miles. This is, I mean, nobody can go deep on the earth like that, and that's. Then second thing is, earth has got a precession. That means it wobbles. The geographical North Pole and the magnetic North Pole are not coincident. That is well known. But not only that, the geographical North Pole changes continuously. Not only that, our North Star, that is the pole star as we call it, is not constant because it is not pointing to that. Like a top, bhaura, it wobbles, like that earth also wobbles. So this wobbling, one time it will say that is the pole star. After 12,000 years ago, if you see, some other star is going to be a pole star. You will not see, of course, but it will be like that.
Reference.
So little bit of wobbling is there, and that makes a change also. The Mars, what is happening? Mars, the polar caps are sometimes becoming the equator because its wobbling is much more. So this kind of thing goes on in the universe.
So some balancing will be self-balancing.
Yeah.
Some very vague parallel example I would just like to share. I happened to meet Mr. Jayan Narayakar, you all must have heard his name, on one of the forums. A question was asked to him as to, all astrologists say that gravitational fields of different panels affect human, and because of that your future can change, or they can predict future based on that and all that. He is completely against it. Instead of answering this question by him, his wife answered that question. She told the audience that we all know when high tide, low tide happens on every coast, basically because of gravitational force by moon. It's the effect of that. At the end, it is effect of that. He said if you take one full bucket of water and go to a coast, and if you observe that bucket of water, do you see any high tide, low tide? No. Because mass of water in the bucket is comparatively very less, whereas mass of water in ocean is too high. That is why you get the effect there. Ultimately it is F equal to ma. So m at least has to be more. So if it is more, then you get that effect. So this indirectly proves that those gravitational fields do not affect flow of blood in our body. So gravitational kundali is what we form after anybody borns, and you say that your all planets were at this location, and that's why your future is going to be like this. So it has no meaning. I mean, it was not exactly parallel, but as he said, whatever efforts we are doing for digging from Earth are comparatively negligible compared to the mass of Earth. Something similar, you are saying that.
But is there any reference on that they are saying that whatever we are digging is negligible in Earth? I've tried to read. But
somebody will have to compile that data, I feel.
But this, the global warming, there are certain positive senses. Entropy change, global warming, they are all coming. They are, say, last 1200, 1500 before, years before.
Yeah,
So, really very, very exciting discussion, and it will continue. And I also hope that it should continue for quite long.